Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. A Theory of Love.
ومن الناس من يتخذ من دون الله أندادا يحبونهم كحب الله والذين آمنوا أشد حبا لله ولو يرى الذين ظلموا إذ يرون العذاب أن القوة لله جميعا وأن الله شديد العذاب.
Understanding the nature of love is a worthy discourse in light of God's statement that among the people are those who set up compeers besides Allah, loving them as if loving Allah. But the faithful have a more ardent love for Allah, though the wrongdoers will see, when they sight the punishment, that power altogether belongs to Allah, and that Allah is severe in punishment. Love, according to the philosophers, stems from our emotions, or at the very least is a type of relationship found in existence. Our love for food, the opposite sex, wealth, honor, and knowledge are all examples that we do not dispute. Likewise, there is no debate on how we employ the word love in these 5 scenarios. However, the question is whether or not there is an essential difference in our usage of this word in various contexts. A close examination of love will show that it is an existential bond between 2 things, the lover and the beloved. Take, for example, our love for food or spouses. Our love for food develops from the act of eating and the love for nourishment that our body receives while consuming satiable provisions. If we did not have the ability to eat, we would not be able to enjoy food. In other words, love exists in reality betwixt and between the act of eating and nourishment on one hand, and eating and gratification on the other. In the same manner, the affection we have for our spouses originates primarily from his or her presence and being. Thereafter we ascribe our love to the individual in propria persona, physically. For this reason, love has the same origin in both scenarios, which is an existential relationship betwixt and between a pending gratification and its actualization. Hence, love is the relationship of perfection in being. Thus understood, the various types of love are conceptually connected to one another, inasmuch as the notion of love stimulates the lover to move towards the beloved entity. It is here that love becomes a manifestation of perfection, as it alters the static bond between 2 things to one of kinetic activity, regardless of whether the movement towards the beloved is conspicuous or cloaked. Therefore, we may interpret man's love for wealth, power, and or knowledge as his endeavor to seek the thing in which his perfection lie, or at least what he believes to hold the key to his perfection. The faculty of love not only exists, but it is something about which all species within the animal kingdom are conscious. This cognizant relationship between the lover and the beloved may be seen as an emotional attachment, or at the very least, as a type of action and reaction between the 2. Therefore, in principle, this attachment can occur between 2 things outside the animal kingdom, provided that there exists reactive and receptive responses toward the perfection in union between the entities. Nonetheless, if the entities are conscious beings and have souls with independent essences, then one entity, the lover, will perceive the other, the beloved, within itself. In conclusion, love is a reality that permeates all existing things as a result of love subsisting in existence itself. Accordingly, love is a union between the lover and the beloved entity, regardless of whether love is reflexive of the self and one's actions or responsive, associated to an entity independent of the self. In either case, love arises out of consciousness and knowledge of the beloved entity. Yet we cannot limit love to consciousness because it is simply an existential bond between 2 things. On the subject of existence itself, some Muslim philosophers have established that existence possesses various degrees of strength and weakness. Take, for example, the relationship between causes and a desired effect. An insufficient cause is not equal to a sufficient cause in producing the desired result. Hence, there are degrees in existence. Likewise, there are various degrees of love. As we have pointed out earlier, there are different types of love, such as physical, emotional, and intellectual. Through these types of love, the lover seeks perfection. By reason of what has preceded, we can proclaim that God is worthy of love regardless of how we look at it. God is a self-sustaining being with limitless perfection. All other beings are limited in their perfection, and thus are attached to the limitless in some manner or form, whether conscious or unaware. This attachment or love, as we have called it, is a part of existence that can never dissipate. And since God has created us and bestowed upon us countless bounties, we love Him, for every benefactor is loved for his free and unmerited favor.